Alright, we're going to set the triggers here this evening and catch up on events from earlier during the day. Now what I've got here is we're looking at the British Pound daily chart and the 1 hour chart. So you can see how we progressed. If you remember, we were in a little sticky trouble there with a couple of open trades that obviously have closed out. So the daily chart is down. Let's just have a quick look at this before we close it out. That is a definite, if we zoom out there, long-term downward trend. No question about it. In fact, it'll be interesting just to put a quick Fibonacci on here. From the higher, the higher, the high, I guess, to the lower, the lower, the low. There we go, right at 50% on the nose, red trigger. Absolutely spot on. Never mind. Okay, that's the daily chart. Now, we don't need that one open because I just brought that up to show you. So the hourly chart, if we zoom out on the hourly chart again, you can see that we're coming to sort of the end of the trend here. So as far as setting a new trigger is concerned, there's nothing on the British Pound right now that is going to excite me here. So we're going to minimize that one. Okay, let's bring up the next chart here. In fact, let's just close out this window for now. At the bottom, we don't need that open. Here we go. Okay, let's see what the euro is up to. The euro was one of our trades that we're in, and as you can see, it's dropped down nicely, just like I said it would do. In fact, let's have a quick look at our results here. Let's go to the history. And if you carefully move the mouse until you see two arrows pointing in the opposite direction. And I like to rearrange this. If you click on here and just unclick the order arrange, and you can actually, with a bit of care, it's just like a spreadsheet in a way, move these along a bit. I like to have them bunched up a lot closer so I can see all the numbers quick. I don't have to scan from one side of the screen all the way over to the other side. There you go, and that's looking a lot better already. A lot of that stuff I never even look at, tell you the truth. Boom de boom de boom. Alright, so there we have it. There. Okay, so the last trades that went through were the euro trades. Here we go. So we got, I think, another 3 out of that. 223, 225, and 30. And again, I'm going to have to move this up even higher. So the 16th, wow, these are all the 16th today. A lot of trades. It was a crazy day. It was absolutely insane. Wow, how far does this can go? Okay, there's the 15th. So the 16th today, we made $19, $86, $40, $31, $172, $6, $135, $6, $1.90, $163, $118, $79, $22, $07, $181, $110, $110, $123, $125, and $30. I haven't added that up in my head, but you can do that. That was a good day that we've had there. All right, so right now we just have one trade that's open, and that is the British Pound, which is very impressive if you want my opinion. All right, so what are we looking at here? Let's zoom out on the British Pound. Again, with every chart, the first thing you want to do is zoom out as far as you can until we can see when the last time the blue line crossed the white line, which is back here. It's done yellow, and it's the first retracement to yellow is what we're interested in, the first retracement to white, and if it's a good drop, maybe a second retracement to the white line. So we've done all that. It's coming to the end of the trend, so to speak, so it's got to come up to the red line at some time. So let's just see what the distance is between the red line and the white line. It's over 500 points, so we potentially got a trade on our hands here. So let's set a red trigger. Okay, so we just drag that red trigger onto the chart. Now this is a little bit more, or one of the most complicated ones to figure out, but it's really simple once you know what you're doing. Actually, the first thing we need to do is right click on the chart and bring up a calculator. And we've got to wait for that to tick to bring up the new calculation up in here. So while it's, there it is. So 2.14 lots, we're going to be risking 1% of the account. Now the red calculator can be one of the most accurate trades. So we're going to put the template back on. So just template, there it is, right? The SAT template. Boom, we're back to the template here. So let's drag on the red trigger. And we're going to put a 2-lot trade in here. Okay. Stop loss, we're going to leave it 500. In fact, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. I'm going to put 650 because of the way we're going to set this up. And I'm going to put a 1.5 lot trade in there. Take profit, we're going to put 250 in. Okay. Red ratio. Now I want this to trigger at 75% of the distance between the white line and the red line. And we want at least 500 points between the white line and the red line before it takes the trade. So what does it all mean? Okay, number one, it'll take a trade of this size when, and if I get my crosshairs tool, or perhaps I'll have to save it first. Here we go. Done. I found a quick sneaky way to bring these back up again. You just click on the smiley face and it brings the information back again. Alright, so we've done that. It's set. Now then, what we need to do is get your crosshairs tool out here. So what it's going to do is when it gets to 75, if this is a minimum of 500 points in distance between the two, which it is over now, it will take the trade. Secondly, it will take the trade 75% of the distance between, so around about here, between the distance between the white line and the red line. And only though if the blue line is still on this side of the white line, because if you remember, when the white line crosses when the blue line crosses the white line, we have a difference in the trend. As long as the blue line is below the white line, we have a downward trend. So as this retraces up 75% of the way, it'll take a sell trade, and it's going to come down 250, and we've got our profit. And we'll see how that works. Red triggers are very interesting triggers. They're the most accurate, but you don't get a huge range of movement when they do trigger here. Alright, so we've set one chart already, and we've gone through the red trigger a little bit. US Swiss. Let's have a look at US Swiss here. Again, you see we took a red trigger on the US Swiss earlier, because this is an upward trend. So blue had crossed white, we've hit yellow, we've hit white, and we've also hit the red trigger. So it's beginning to come to the end of the trend right now. And let's have a look at the 1 day. And it's kind of peaking out here. It's got to drop back down. So that's not a good trade. We've missed it, right? Well, not that we missed it, actually. We made full advantage of that. Let's go back to 1 hour on that one. We took those trades. So let's not put a trigger on that. We want quality of trades, not quantity. Okay, US Canadian. Now what's going on here? Now the blue line crossed the white line way back here. It's already done yellow, it's already done white. Then we kind of got a secondary sort of trend going on here. Back to the white line, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's, you know, again, we should really have a red trigger set on this thing. And what's the distance between white and red? It's not even 500. That's going to be it wouldn't even trigger. We need at least 500 points between the two. What's 1 day doing here? Well, 1 day it's still, you know, it's an upward trend, but it's blue's crossed white. It's not looking clear. Let's not do anything with that one. All right, Australian. Let's have a look at the Australian. Now we've got some serious movement here. In fact, we've already got a white trigger set. Okay, let's zoom out and have a look at this. Wow, look at that trend go. You know, dropped here. We've done yellow. We've done, well, we've just skirted along the white line, so we're looking at a good white trigger. And what have we got that set up as? 1. I think we can actually put a number 2 in there. Let's go for the whole enchilada here. 250, that's good. Okay, we'll just double check that one. We need to minimize that chart or restore it. New Zealand. Now let's see what the New Zealand is up to. You know, this is good. A white trigger on that would be really good. In fact, we've already got a white trigger. Let's zoom out and see what the story is. Well, blue cross white, it's done yellow. It's done white, but this is a good drop. I'd be very happy with a white trigger on that. And what have we got it set up as? 1, a value. Yep, that's good. Looks good to me. Crosshairs tool is a great tool. Let's say that if it hit the white line round about here, how far would 250 be? Yeah, that's good enough. We can live with that one. Minimize that chart. Pound yen. Yeah. What have we done here? Blue cross white here. It's done yellow. It's done white and beyond. And the distance between red and white right now is what? Oh, 661. That's not too shabby, actually, is it? Let's zoom out. Let's confirm with the 1 day chart. It's a good trend, but I think 1 day is going to retrace way back here, so let's not put a trigger on that one. I always like to keep my charts on the 1 hour as well. Okay, let's minimize that. Oh, that was the pound yen. Sorry, we've done that one. Euro yen. Oh, what's happened here? Blue's crossed, it's done yellow, it's done white, it's also done red. And this is closing, so rubbish. Let's just not do anything there. US yen. What's going on here? Well, nothing. All these lines are close together. We've got a red trigger on, so let's have a look at this. Okay, so what is the distance between white and red? Ooh, 800, 790. That's good. Let's zoom out just a little bit more. So blue's crossed white here. It's done yellow. It's done white, and that is a good looking trigger. Let's look at 1 day chart. This is a strong upward trend. Yeah, okay, we can live with that. Let's see what we've got here for, but I'm going to put a smaller amount in there. I'm going to make that 0.5. I'm always a bit wary of the yen, to tell you the truth. And I'm just going to put the ratio that 65% of the way. Done. Okay, let's minimize that. We don't need to have this window over here anymore open, so we can close that out. Then we got a window tile vertically. Okay. We don't really need to have this open overnight. And then let's just tidy this up a little bit here. Doesn't take 2 seconds. And we've got a decent looking setup going on our computer. And we can see quite happily here what's going on. So again, just make sure that you got this button ticked, the auto scroll button, and there's a space between the candles and the right hand side of the chart. We can zoom in on this one a little bit, just tidy it up. There you go, and I've got my auto scroll button on. Here, well, we can certainly zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. This one here, again, we can zoom in a little bit. We've got our auto scroll turned on. And this one here, you see, that's the problem with not having auto scroll turned on. You look at something and think, oh, that's looking interesting, but the fact of the matter is it's something completely different. So let's zoom in on that a little bit. Put our auto scroll button on, and there we have the chart set up. And what did that take us? And I got into a little bit of explanation with you, obviously, but 3 or 4, 5 minutes in the evening, we've set this thing up. And that's what we did last night. And again, if we look at this, just to show it off, I guess. We had a good day trading this morning. All this happened this morning. And that was a good day trading. A phenomenal day. Haven't seen a day like that for a long time. And all we did is the same thing. We set the charts up last night with the triggers on and went to bed. So for the most part, it's just setting the triggers and monitoring the charts. That's all we got to do, and it's nothing more complicated than getting used to using Facebook or Twitter or something of that nature, or your favorite video game, and taking the results as a result, I guess. All right, I'm going to close out here and look forward to seeing you in the morning.